Today on Focus on Sports, we see how the Lady Diamond Dogs offense was a no-show against Nevada this weekend.
And Fresno State baseball snags a sweep. Which Diamond Dog put up 2 home runs against New Mexico?
Plus, no love for Fresno State's tennis team against San Diego State. How did the women fare against the Aztecs? Focus on Sports starts now. Hello and welcome to Focus on Sports. I'm Brian Welch.
And I'm Bianca Gonzalez.
We have a great show for you today. We'll start with Ricardo and the Lady Diamond Dogs. Ricardo?
Thank you, Brian and Bianca. The Lady Diamond Dogs are chasing the #1 spot in the Mountain West this weekend, but fell short to Nevada Wolfpack over this past weekend. Nevada won the game 12-0 after 5 innings on Saturday. Sunday was Bark at the Park night with our furry friends joining in on the action. This game was defensive heavy with the score tied at 1 after 5 innings. In the 6th, Nevada bats finally woke up. They scored 2 runs on just 4 hits, including back-to-back triples. The Lady Dogs could not find an answer and lost to Nevada. The Dogs' next game is against Sacramento State tomorrow. First pitch at 3 o'clock. Back to you, Bianca.
Here, Ricardo. After taking Game 1 against New Mexico on Friday, a series win for the Diamond Dogs was on the mind for Saturday. Check out this RBI from Murph Gray as he drives in his teammate Owen Fost. Caden Munster gets aboard with this double. With 2 on, Murph Gray stands in and has this towering 3-run bomb that puts the Dogs ahead. Gray had 2 home runs on the afternoon. Gray's glove was also on fire as well with this third base grab. Aiden Cramarosa had a strong day pitching on the hill, striking out Lobo batters. Fresno State gets the victory and takes the series against New Mexico 11-3. The king of home runs, Murph Gray, credits his coaches for the great day on the field.
You know, it was just great positioning from Richie Price. You know, he puts together a great plan. He gives us those cards with, you know, everybody's lineup, you know, the speed and everything. But without him moving us around, we don't make those plays. So all thanks to him, all thanks to our coaching staff. They put us in the right position to go win ball games.
In the series finale on Sunday, the Diamond Dogs swept the Lobos 13-7. With that sweep, Fresno State is all alone at the top of the Mountain West Conference standings. Plus, just today, Sky Collins was picked as the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week. The Dogs are back at home tomorrow against St. Mary's at 6:05. All right, Brian, these Diamond Dogs have been on fire lately. What has been going well for them?
A good pitching. Jack Anker, the milkman from Tulare, California, a career-high 11 strikeouts on it Friday afternoon, cooling down those Lobo bats. But also the offense. Murph Gray having a very great weekend at the plate. 2 home runs on Saturday, as well as Sky Collins, 7 hits. This team right now is playing at midseason form, Bianca.
You know, you bring up a good point, playing at midseason form, but this team is playing like a team. It is not one person carrying. It is that entire lineup. You know, Sky Collins and Murph Gray, they had a good weekend. But who's going to be next? Can we see some more action from Bobby Barrels?
Well, Bobby Blandford has been able to play really well, also have extended at-bats. But this team has regional experience, Bianca. They struggled in Santa Barbara last year in the postseason. This team has the experience, and I believe this team can make some noise in the conference tournament and also make some noise if they win the conference championship in a regional somewhere around the United States.
Absolutely. I see them going far. The Fresno State equestrian team just wrapped up their spring season, but this kind of sport that requires year-round dedication and training taking care of Fresno State's most unique athletes. Equestrian is a unique sport here at Fresno State that consists of horse riding, jumping, reining, and vaulting. Not only do these riders have to master the skill of horse riding, there are a lot of skills and athleticism that go into the sport.
Our legs have to be much stronger than you would normally think, and then our core is probably the most important muscle. If you don't have a tight core, you're just kind of flopping around and it doesn't look pretty.
Equestrian is also an individual sport, meaning that even though they are a team, they compete individually at meets. Freshman Paris Mahoney is a double starter on the team. She explains what she loves about the sport.
I think it's really special just because there's a lot of different aspects of it. You know, you don't come out and just do the same thing every day. I think there's a lot of flexibility, and I really like being able to ride a whole bunch of different horses.
Here at the Student Horse Center is where all the equestrian practices and meets are held. However, balancing school and riding isn't their only responsibility. They also have the job of taking care of the horses right over there in the back.
Smile. Cheese. Cheese. Oh, good boy. Now give me a kiss. Kiss, kiss. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you.
When it comes to caring for the horses, the team has a committee to handle the cleaning and grooming. Brogan Hill says that they have routines that varies and have 2 chore days a week, and once a semester they have chore weekends where they clean 7 to 11 stalls.
But I clean my chore horse's stalls, and this is Marvin, this is my chore horse, and I also clean my chore sister's horse's stalls as well.
Even though Marvin and the equestrian team season has come to an end, they will be back later this year for their fall opener. If you're interested in looking at the rider stats or want to go to a meet in the fall, you can find more information on the Fresno State Athletics website.
Women's tennis is recovering from some brutal matches over the weekend. The Dogs hosted number 52 ranked San Diego State at the Spalding G. Wavin Center on Friday. The Dogs had a rough day on the court. The Aztecs came off the duel with all the available points and the sweep. Fresno State began dropping doubles points early on. Eliza Dunbar and Sophia Pizzoni match was left unfinished on court 3 with a score of 4-4. The Aztecs continued their push into singles play, taking the first 3 matches into straight sets. As the San Diego State sealed the deal on the final point on court 1, as Madeline Magini fell to Yasmin Calva 6-4 and 6-3. Dunbar, Pizzoni, and Paulina Montanel all won their first sets against the Aztecs, but they left their matches unfinished. On to the gridiron now. The Fresno State football team is working through spring prep. The team wrapped up a spring showcase over the weekend with some notable alumni on the sidelines. As both the Carr brothers watched the 2025 team preview matchup, the biggest question going into the game is which quarterback would stand out. Number 3, Joshua Woods, a returner from last year's squad, took reps on Saturday. So did E.J. Warner, a transfer from Rice. As our very own Focus reporter, Roland Fullwood, as you can see on your screen right now, wearing number 71. He played offensive lineman for the Dogs, caught some action in the game. The new head coach of the Bulldogs, Matt Entz, says that he is excited about the promise of the team.
You know, iron sharpens iron. The better players we can bring in, it's going to require everyone on the football team, coaches included, to continue to get better. Today's practice, a little sloppy at times, too many false starts, too many penalties late. We got to be better on early downs. That's something that we've continually talked about. But, you know, now there's a reason why we're going to show back up this summer and Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to get back to work and get excited.
First game of the season for the Bulldogs is in August against Kansas on the road. In an interview over the weekend, Coach Entz brought up that one player that has improved throughout spring ball is our very own Roland Fullwood. Let's go, Roland.
With the spring preview for football behind us, there are lots of questions still to be answered about this upcoming season. McKenna is here with someone who has more insight on what's to come for Fresno State football.
Thank you, Bianca. Fox 26 sports reporter and Fresno State Focus alumnus Gabe Camarillo is joining me now. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, McKenna.
So I got to know, what are your initial thoughts on what you saw on the field on Saturday?
The team looks different, and it's because there's 21 mid-year additions. It's because there's a lot of new coaches, but also it's a new style of play. As long as Jeff Tedford's been there, it's been more of a spread offense, more throwing the ball. In fact, that was a lot of what last year was, throwing the football. This year and in this spring preview, we saw a different mentality, a physical mentality. Running the football is going to be Fresno State's bread and butter, especially with a returning budding superstar like Bryson Donaldson.
So we do have Matt Entz, brand new head coach here. What do you think is the biggest difference he's going to be making to this team that they have not had in years past?
Like I said, a bit of an emphasis on running the football more than in years past. Fresno State's been blessed with a lot of good running backs. Ronnie Rivers, Jordan Mims, even guys like Malik Sherrod had their moments to shine for Fresno State. But those have been, in complementary to good quarterback play. Marcus McMarion, Jake Hayner, guys who won championships here were quarterbacks. I feel like if Fresno State were to make noise this year, it would be because of more of a team approach, a defense that's going to be lights out, a running game that's going to be hard to stop, and then a quarterback that's not going to make mistakes. Because right now we don't know who the quarterback's going to be, as we just heard on Fresno State Focus on Sports. They're still deciding that.
Real quick, who do you think they should be leaning towards the quarterback situation?
Well, there's
here?
arguments to be made for all three of them. There's E.J. Warner, who's had 3 years as a starter between previous schools, Rice and Temple. There's also Joshua Wood, who he's a runner. He's an athlete. He can definitely make a defense think twice before pass rushing because he can easily escape the pocket and find himself 20, 25 yards. And then a wild card guy who might just take this job if he has an awesome fall, Jaden Mandel. Buchanan grad. I heard he has a pretty good arm.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that insight. Thank you.
Coming up, the playoffs are right around the corner tonight. We'll look ahead to a battle between the top 2 teams.
Plus, we see how the early season has been for the MLB. That is all coming up after the break.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart, deep in my heart to stay.
I got that bulldog spirit.
Down in my toes, down in my toes, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit.
Down in my toes. Hey.
Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
deep in my heart, deep in my heart.
It's officially crunch time in the NBA with just under 2 weeks left to go before playoff time. The Warriors fell to the Rockets in a close one last night, losing 106-96. Stephen Curry had an uncharacteristic night. He scored just 3 points in a week where he averaged 28 points. The Warriors are still holding on to the 6th lead in the West. Going down south, the Lakers dominated the #1 team in the West, Oklahoma City Thunder. Luka Doncic, 30 points powered Lakers past the Thunder 126-99. The Lakers are still sitting at the 3rd in the West.
The final game of the college basketball season is tonight, and Florida and Houston are about to face off in the national championship. Take a look at how we got here. In the first game on Saturday, Florida is trailing, but #1 Walter Clayton Jr. is able to drive to the cup for 2. Auburn's Joni Broom's able to work in the paint to get this shot. In the second half, check out this dunk from number 44, Dylan Cardwell, going right into your living room. The Gators called checkmate with this and one. Gators move on to take down Auburn at 79-73. In the second game between Duke and Houston, check out this dunk from Cooper Flagg. Houston shot the ball well, especially from beyond the arc with that 3 ball. Cougars trailed, but the 3 ball is on fire, is unstoppable and on fire. All tied up at 67, but not until this clutch shooting from Houston as last chance shot for Duke, but Houston's able to get the job done as they take down the Duke Blue Devils 70-67. Tip-off between the Gators and the Cougars is set for 5:50.
The National League West has been leading the MLB in wins this season. The Giants, Dodgers, and Padres have wasted no time fighting for the first place spot. The Giants are on a 7-game winning streak after this walk-off win from an RBI single from Wilmer Flores. The Dodgers lost a 3-game series against the Phillies over the weekend, but it was still a close game yesterday after Teoscar Hernandez started the scoring with this home run. The Padres aren't too far behind in the NL West. Last night, they took an 8-7 win over the Cubs.
And it is our top dog of the week. I know it's a 2-box right now. Bianca, who's your top dog of the week?
So, Brian, I am going with one of our very own colleagues, Roland Fullwood, especially after those plays he had at Spring Preview. I am so proud to see his growth. How about you, Ricardo?
I'm going to go with my hometown hero, Jack Anker. I'm from Tulare, so that's why. He had 11 strikeouts on 6 innings, and obviously if he's playing good, the Dogs are going to play good. That's why they got the sweep this weekend. How about you, McKenna?
It's baseball season. I'm sticking with baseball. Justin Stransky swinging the bat great this weekend in their sweep, and I have full confidence in him to go far the rest of the season. Brian, how about you?
McKenna, did you look at my notes? I'm going baseball as well. Hey, the sky's high for Fresno State as Sky Collins hit the ball well. 7 hits on the weekend as the fastest man in Fresno, able to be the player of the week in the Mountain West Conference. And this team is playing really good baseball. Big game tomorrow against St. Mary's at home at Pete Biden Field at Bob Bennett Stadium. But before we throw it to break, it is somebody's birthday today on Focus on Sports. It is Bianca's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Bianca. Hope you're having an awesome day.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Yeah, any plans?
I plan to celebrate with my family, and I'm excited.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Thank you.
And that is our show.
You can tune in for more sports this Wednesday on our newscast with that guy right over there, Ricardo.
Our Monday sports shows are off for the next 2 weeks for spring break. You'll still get your weekly dose of sports when we return on the 28th. Have a good spring break, everybody.